Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be showcasing the Entity XXR, an incredibly nice and inexpensive supercar, as this week it is 30% off, from the normal 2.3 million to 1.6. In today's video, I'll be showcasing the upgrades this car features, its handling, top speed, and performance. So, let's get straight into it! Here we are at Los Santos Customs, and let's see what this vehicle's got going for it. Let's start off with armor and brakes, the basic stuff, and now we got some bumper options. We got primary short splitter, which doesn't really do anything, kind of just removes the front bumper. We got a secondary short splitter, which is the same, carbon, and then we got a carbon splitter and canard. That actually looks pretty nice. Primary splitter, secondary splitter, and then we got the highlight splitter. I am a massive fan of highlights. I think it looks really cool to have the little stripping of whatever color you want matched with carbon, so that's what we're going to be going with. And obviously when it comes to diffusers, we're going to do the highlight on the back as well. We're going to do an engine upgrade to level 4, and let's see, we got some hood options. Not the craziest of options, I'll be real. We can do a carbon hood or just normal. We're probably just going to go for the primary. I think that's pretty simple. We also got some exhaust options, which I don't really do much, to be honest. We're just going to go for titanium because I think blue looks very cool. Alright, let's do some xenon lights on the vehicle, make our way over to the license plate. Obviously we'll stick with a classic of black, and now we get to scroll through the color options. We are going to end up with a wine red. I think that this, especially the way it reflects with the light, looks absolutely fantastic, so yeah, definitely going with the wine red. Now, the spoiler options are weird and a bit disappointing when it comes to this vehicle, and that is down to the fact that I think the stock spoiler looks absolutely fantastic. We can see that it actually has a secondary color that matches the main. Unfortunately, stock spoilers do not give you a handling benefit, where other spoilers do. Weirdly enough, I'm pretty sure even removing the wing as it counts as a spoiler option will give you better traction. But the main options we have are the low-level spoiler, the carbon wing, the GT wing, and the tuner wing, which are really all pretty mediocre. We're not going to do the tuner wing. I think the GT wing is pretty mid. Carbon wing is also mid, so we're just going to go for the low-level spoiler. I'm really disappointed that we can't have the stock spoiler on this car because it does look the best, as I said, but as I also said, it gives you better handling to have the other options. So let's lower that suspension, let's give it some transmission, turbo, and we do have some wheel type options here. We're gonna go for high end, and I'm actually gonna go for carbon. I think carbon looks fantastic. We'll just do carbon solar. I think that looks pretty nice. We obviously don't really need to mess with the wheel color because it's already a carbon. So just like that, this vehicle is fully upgraded. I actually think that the color choices we've done here look fantastic on the car, but I'm gonna go bring it over to the golf course so we can see just how it stands out. Now that we're actually in direct sunlight, you can see just how clean and nice this vehicle looks. Even though the XXR does not feature a lot of customization, I would still be willing to say that this is one of the cleanest and nicest looking supercars available. The car is just so well rounded, the back looks absolutely fantastic, and yeah, even though there aren't many spoiler options, I still think the one we put on it looks very clean. Put this wine red on the overall Koenigsegg look, and yeah, I think that this vehicle looks absolutely amazing. But customization and upgrade is just one part of the vehicle. Now we get to break into the handling and performance. On paper, the XXR has some very conflicting values going for it. For example, the vehicle reaches an incredible top speed of 128 miles per hour, which even when HSW vehicles are added into the equation still places it in the 11th fastest position for all supercars in the game. That's pretty good. The problem is that this vehicle features some of the worst handling in the game for the supers category at 50th place out of the 58 supercars. So it's got really good top speed, but really bad handling. Or so, that's at least what it says on paper. In today's video, we're very briefly going to be finding out just how this vehicle handles in daily GTA Online usage. And we're very easily going to do this by following the 4-mile allotted journey in front of us. We're going to start off in the city, which is obviously going to have narrow streets, and it's going to be more based on handling than overall top speed. Then we're going to make our way into Vinewood Hills, where we're going to need grip and acceleration, plus some decent turning capabilities. Then we're going to level out at the peak of the mountains and start going downhill. This part is where we're going to pick up the most speed throughout the whole course, and we're going to have to be very cautious on the cornering capabilities and braking power of this car. To finish off, we're going to make our way straight to the biker club. To get a good idea on how this car drives, I just spent the last 20 minutes going back and forth on the track we're going to drive right now. And yeah, I will be honest, the car's handling is nothing amazing. In fact, yeah, it's pretty poor. It is, I would say, least optimal for city driving. The problem is that any sharp corners, this vehicle just loves to try and drift, which is not good, because this is not a vehicle you're obviously going to want to drift in. It's a supercar. You want handling, you want performance, not Tokyo drifting. So that is probably the main issue I'd say with this vehicle's handling. I mean, the corner capabilities aren't actually that bad. If you can, like, keep the car from spinning out throughout the corners, it's not terrible, but you'll notice every sharp corner we have to make, the car loses grip, loses speed, and because of that also makes it a lot more painful to drive. But let's see how it does through the uphill area. I've actually noticed that cars that usually like to spin out do well on the uphill area because they have grip, you know, because you're obviously going uphill. So not too bad so far. You can see uphill, no problems whatsoever, no grip loss. As I said, the handling isn't actually bad on the car. It's just the fact that it loses so much grip. It's unfortunate that you can't put grippier tires on this vehicle. But let's slow down a bit. Not too bad right there. Now we got the downhill gradient. Now downhill I would also expect isn't too bad because these aren't necessarily sharp corners. These are big corners, but they're circular, which means that as long as we don't have to worry about slamming on the brakes or the accelerator through the corner, it's not actually going to be too bad. So first two corners, not terrible at all. I definitely took that second one a little too wide, but we'll make up for it with this one here. Oh yeah. Okay, so not too bad. You can see the car definitely is able to turn fairly well. But man, if you take a look, the car's kind of like jumping when I'm rolling around corners. It's like going, and I think that's because it's like losing grip and having grip at the exact same time. It's right on the cusp of just dying. So yeah, it's a bit weird to drive this car, but honestly not bad. As I said, it's definitely nothing amazing, but you'll notice the handling isn't the worst ever. It's still got that great speed and acceleration, and in a normal GTA Online lobby, you're really not going to have to worry about this car's handling. I mean, sure, if you're driving through the city a lot, then you probably will, but I can't imagine that you're going to be only driving in the city. If you're planning on ever doing a 4 or 5 mile drive across the map or through Sandy Shores, then this is actually a pretty decent car. For the price tag of $1.6 million, I also can't say it's that bad of a deal. You can see that the braking is actually decent as well in the car. So while it is ranked as the 50th worst supercar on handling, I'm actually not sure how true that is for general usage in Los Santos. I would probably rate this at about a 7 out of 10 on handling. Definitely nothing great, but nothing awful either. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Entity XXR, a vehicle that if you like speed and acceleration is definitely your type of car. Unfortunately, if you like handling, yeah, I just stick with the Emirates or the Krieger. It's not a bad car by any means, and especially for the price tag of only $1.6 million this week, I think that's a pretty decent deal. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about this car, the paint job I put on it, because I guarantee there's going to be some people that like it and a lot that probably don't. But either way, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.